Five Reasons Sports Postgame Show, a.k.a. the Post Up. And the boys are back. And yes, indeed, the boys feeling good because the Heat blew that shit out just like we knew they would. Mm-hmm. Fellas, how are y'all feeling? First game of the season in the books. We get a little bit of revenge on the way to blowing out the Milwaukee Bucks, 137-95. We got my man Jonathan Rumlicon. We got my man Ariel Latias. We got Ricky J. Mark, Brian Young. And we got the doc himself, Mr. Sean Rochester, on his maiden voyage on the Post-Up Show. So welcome, guys. Welcome to a new season. I missed you. I missed you all. I didn't miss y'all in the comments as much because I know y'all going to be getting on my ass throughout the season, but, you know, fuck y'all. This ain't about y'all anyway. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with my man Ariel. Ariel, what was your favorite part of this blowout, bro?
I really want to go Tyler Hero and keep pushing the agenda, but I'm going to go Bam. I thought, everything that Pat Riley had talked about, what was it yesterday when he was in his preseason, address to the media where he's talking about how Bam, we might see a scorer and that he's got this different mentality and whatnot. And all of these things that we've been harping on all of last season, over the offseason, that for this team to get to another level, yes, adding Kyle Lowry changes the dynamic tremendously. He, adds a dimension to the offense and defensively as well that this team just hasn't had, definitely not last season. He puts Bam in positions and other players in positions where, they're able to do the most that they can possibly do offensively. But just at the end of the day, and we talked about this on the Halftime Paces and Spaces, which, by the way, y'all should check out at the halftime of every game. It's going to be hosted by Sean Rochester, Marco Romo, our boy Tony Schwartz. Those are awesome. We're going to break down games at halftime. We talked about this in that, at the end of the day, it all comes down to Bam deciding he wants to be that dude. And tonight, he decided he wanted to be that dude. He was attacking. He was matched up with Giannis, on multiple possessions, one-on-one, and you see him calling for the ball, facing up, jab step jumper, attacking Giannis, drawing fouls. He had it all going tonight. He was rebounding at a tremendous rate, which is another thing that we talked about being something that we would see more of because Bam doesn't have to switch out onto the perimeter as much, and he will be closer to the basket. So everything that we wanted to see from Bam, we saw. He had a monster game in limited minutes. If he plays a full game, he probably drops a Barbara Walters on these boys. So all in all, that was tremendously encouraging. I was most encouraged by what I saw from Bam.
No, for sure, because he gave us the one thing that we were begging for last year, which was aggression. And speaking of aggression, we want to welcome an old friend of the network, but new sponsor to the Post-Up Show, and that is A Aggressive Insurance. InsuranceByLynette.com. She is going to be the primary sponsor of the Five Reasons Sports Network. So they do homeowners insurance, condo insurance, life insurance. They also everything. They give complimentary notary services to all of their clients. So feel free, if you want some insurance matters handled, reach out to A Aggressive Insurance, 954-581-8800, or go to InsuranceByLynette.com to be able to reach them. So thank you for your patronage, and we will be shouting her out every game. So if you get tired of it, that's your fucking problem. So Brian, you can take that off the screen. Jonathan, Brian, on to you, my man. What was your favorite part of today's game, bro?
My favorite part of today's game was Kyle Lowry. I think you look at the stat line, you see, if you hadn't watched the game, you'd see 5-1-6, a pretty pedestrian line. But the fact that he was trying to push the pace every single possession was fantastic to see. And we saw that in the preseason, right? I think I can't remember how many points they scored. I think it was 139 the first preseason game. And I think at first we're kind of all like, that's crazy, but it's an anomaly, right? But you look at tonight, the first game back, they scored 137. And I get it. Kyle Lowry only played from 24 minutes. But in his 24 minutes, I mean, you could see the impact that he's having on that offense, right? And I think that when you have a guy like Tyler Hero in the zone, you have Bam Adebayo being more aggressive, and you get a real true point guard that can push the pace and get those guys easy buckets, that offense, as we saw tonight, looks pretty damn fantastic. So I'm really, really loving the impact that Kyle Lowry is having on these guys.
So we want to shout out Prop by Pack TV for the first donor of the season. Thank you for the $4.99 donor. He says everybody had an incredible game besides Markieff. I'm worried. Honestly, aside from the shoot, I didn't think Markieff played all that terrible. I thought he was okay. He hit a shot. We hadn't seen that all preseason. You're not gonna rain on my parade today, Prod by Pack TV, whatever the fuck your name is. Ricky J. Mark, my man, Kane, Tell me what you saw from today's game. I should not be disrespecting people who give us money. Bro.
I gotta
wait before you go. Thank you, questions everything for the $2 donut. He said, "Don't get food, KZ. Still dog, bro. KZ is the man." He hit a 3-pointer, his first shot of the season. Oh, they coming at me live today, baby. Give me your money. Thank you, Poetic Lifestyle, for the $4.99 donut. He said defense looking deadly, but hero, he's staying on fire, I guess. Hope it hold up all year, and Bam looking big and stronger down low all-star year. Yes, for sure. I'm going to let y'all keep giving me money, and I'm just going to let Ricky talk while y'all doing that. Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, I got to start by expressing my disappointment in you, Royal. I got to start by saying that first and foremost. Yes. I'm looking at this tweet that you posted with regards to this very post-up episode.
Oh, yes, indeed, Alejandro.
And I see something here, and I'm like, the math ain't wrong. Like the math ain't right. It's not mathing. Okay.
Talk to me, Kane.
I'm supposed to see multiple digits. I only see 3. I see 82-0. There's a problem with this. It's supposed to be.
That's a regular season. That's a regular season tweet.
Nah. 82 plus 16 is what?
It's 98, baby.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, Kane.
Hey, man, you're going to lose at least one playoff game. We talked about this.
Well, of course, hashtag Heat and 5, I completely understand. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we've figured that out. Look, I am happy to be able to watch a good Heat team again. It's been a long time coming. We knew what the problems were, whether we wanted to admit it or not during the streams last year. We knew what the problems were going into last season. Those problems are gone. And I got to say, you've got a better Tyler Hero, an actual point guard. No disrespect to the previous number 7, but an actual point guard that pushes the pace the way he does. Jimmy Butler is well rested. Bam Adebayo is aggressive. Okay, the guy, and I think I tweeted this earlier in the game, the guy could very possibly be a 23 or a 24, 12, and 5 player. Those are MVP numbers. I know a lot of us have him as the potential defensive player of the year, but this is a potential MVP candidate if he gets them numbers up and Miami ends up in the top 3. I know we're going to be talking about everything else, I'm sure, later on, but this game showed you what Miami can be as early as, what is it, October still? Who knows how much better we can get from this point. Now, do I expect for us to score 130 points a game? No. But you can kind of see how Miami was able to get to some of the things they got to. Let's say some of those threes don't fall, right? And I'll kind of finish up with this. Let's say some of those threes don't fall. One of the things that stood out to me, especially in the first half, was the fact that they kept going to the line. They missed a couple free throws, that's true, but they kept going to the line. Giannis was essentially a non-factor after midway through the second quarter. And that was because, if I'm not mistaken, did he pick up his 3rd foul?
No, yeah. It got challenged, right, though? Like, initially, when he first had it. Like, I think he played relatively regular minutes, given that it was a blowout, I guess.
So, that's a good note to have. So, let's say that might have been challenging. Whether or not it was overturned, I honestly don't remember. But the way in which Miami was able to create that situation, that's not always going to get overturned. That's going to end up as a problem for defenders on other teams. This team's defense is pretty solid. 130 points, and you held the Bucks, the best offense in the last 3 seasons, under 100. It bodes well for this Heat team.
And Ricky, they played at a fast pace. Like, that first half specifically was played at a frenetic pace. So for them to hold them to that number is also doubly impressive.
And the only reason they didn't blow them out by more was because Kyle Lowry went out for a couple minutes and had everybody scared.
Hey, bro, let's not talk about that tonight. He came back. He played the whole game.
Yes, he did.
Thank you to the Godfather Alfredo Arteaga for the 333 throw. No, don't see satisfaction. Thank you, thank you to the OG. PJ Tucker was culturing all over the place. Oh, was he now? He had me rubbing on my nipples, OG. Thank you, Enrique Comas, for the $5. Don't know. He said, wait, they coming up too quick for me. Greg Roberts for the $4.99. Don't know. He said, I love the up tempo and beast on D. We did too. Thank you very much. Give me the next one, Ramakan. Oh, Enrique Comos with a $5 don't know. He said Neil deGrasse Tyson is right. Heat in 3. I like that. And Nicholas Vasquez, thank you for the $4.99 don't know. He said the Bucks are bubble fraud. Hey, bro, I'll tolerate the slander tonight. Sean, you new here, so you go last. Ram Lacan, tell me your favorite. Oh, never mind. Thank you, Drew Tola, for the $3 donut. He said, nice job, guys. Nice job to you, too. Somebody else said they missed us in the comments. I missed y'all, too. And let's go with Alejandro, too. Let's get to 14K subscribers tonight. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of good shit and stuff. I want to talk about this game. Stop making me talk about other stuff. Ram Lacan, talk about basketball and what you saw from the world champion Miami Heat tonight.
I mean, we out rebounded the Bucks by almost 20. Like that's something we would have never even thought about last year because we were getting absolutely smothered on the board. We saw the effect of Kyle Lowry having that point of attack defense, allowing guys like Bam, even Dwayne Dedmon and Tyler Hero having a bunch of rebounds. Like our centers combined for about 36 or 26 to 28 rebounds. So that was crazy between Dedmon and Bam, how much we were, getting rebounds. And on top of that, man, Lowry was setting up everybody. Hero looked like a phenomenal playmaker off the bench. Like I think those point guard reps that he got last year and he failed at kind of still taught him something. And that's what's showing through now is that he's able to create more naturally. And since he has the lift on his jump shot, since that scoring there is a little more potent, he's going to be able to create a little bit better. We saw him set up Markieff Morris a couple times. We saw him set up PJ Tucker. I think just all around, we saw a great there's nothing that we didn't see this game. And that was the best part of tonight is because, hey, the most points scored in the season opener for any team in history, and that's now belongs to the record for the Miami Heat. So that's putting a statement for this season getting started.
Yeah, D. Tyler Hero averages 27 points a game. I just want to put that out there. Voodoo Visions, thank you for the 199. Don't know. He said your 7 scored the same amount of points. Bro, don't do this now. We had a good night. Don't come in here with your negativity. Thank you for your money, but be quiet. Sean Rochester, Dr. Strus, Coach Rochester.
Teach these devils.
I don't know what they talk about, bro. But Sean, tell me what you saw from tonight's game, what you like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going last, you guys hit on a lot of my thoughts there. But, I think from the jump.
Work for it.
I know. From the jump, like they didn't play with their food. They just went at it right off the bat. They were aggressive. They were intense. The defense was flying around. They were attacking the basket, got to the free throw line. We mentioned the rebounding, keeping them off the offensive glass, but also we were attacking the offensive glass. We didn't turn the ball over. All the things like Ricky mentioned earlier that we used to struggle with last year, it flipped. And obviously it's one game. It's a long season, but it's a good sign, just to start off on that path.
Yeah. So I see Christian Cardus is on his bullshit early in the season. Thank you for the 199. Don't know. He said live in booty holder and Greek cheeks head rent free. Brett, the movie guy. Thank you for the 199. Don't know. He said Hero is making another baby tonight. You damn skippy he is. So let's get into some of these individual players, and we'll go in reverse order this time. So Sean, we'll start with you. I want you to talk specifically about what you saw from PJ Tucker, because in my mind, that dude had a way bigger impact than just his career high 8 points that he put up today. Like it was so much that he did on that court. Oh, he said, take my money. Horatio Hall with great pleasure. Thank you, baby. Talk about what you saw from PJ Tucker tonight, bro. I'm a little excited tonight, bro. I'm gassed up right now, man.
Yeah, we can see that.
I love it. The play that stands out to me is the play where he really had no chance of getting that ball on the Bucks sideline and just went face front. I thought he went like straight into the cement. Like it was just a sign of like he does not give a damn. He's going to go after every play. He's flying around. He's jumping in to help defense. He does the little things. He's not going to fill up the stat sheet. He's probably not going to get 8 points again this season. Like that's just how it is. But he's going to do the things that wins basketball games. That's all that matters.
For sure. I know y'all seen that bubble.
Hey, right.
Quiet,
right. No,
right.
Damn it.
Thank you for the 1999. Don't know Jamal 1482. I was blessed to be in the building tonight, and PJ Tucker is Heat culture. You put a lot of exclamation points in between that one sentence. He set the tone with Giannis, and the rest is history. 82-0. LOL. Well, the King Ricky J. Marcus already corrected us. It is 98-0 that we shall be going. You hear me? So you guys honor and respect that. Thank you, Greg Roberts, for the 499. Don't know. He said Hero will be 6th man of the year as long as he stays healthy. Record 65. Get your negativity out of here.
17 losses. What is this crap?
I have never seen the Heat lose a basketball game in the 2021-2022 basketball season. So how can you make me believe that they're going to lose one?
This is tomfoolery, is what
exactly.
that is.
Ariel, you wanted to jump in here, bro. What you said?
I was just going to say that if we want our man, the illustrious Marco Romo, to buy himself a PJ Tucker jersey, we need PJ Tucker to hit 15 points in a game this season. So, Sean, I appreciate your analysis. You were spot on, but I'm not with the negativity. PJ's getting 15 at some point.
Good luck with that. That boy's going to be jersey free for a long time because them 8 points, like I was lit, bro. I thought PJ was going for 30 at one point, and then I came back to my senses.
You realize that's 5 threes. That's easy.
That's a lot. I'm finna skip around the board a little bit because I haven't heard Brian talk in a long time. And somebody just let Brian speak in the comments. So I got y'all, bro.
Yeah,
I'm conscious of it.
Let Brian pay us back. Oh, shit.
That's right. Brian, talk about some of what you saw from PJ Tucker tonight, brother.
I think you guys mentioned it, man. The culture was culturing, as they say. So he's never gonna have a stat, any kind of crazy. Oh, PJ Tucker had 20 points tonight, but man, that guy's gonna defend his ass off. He's gonna dive for loose balls. He's gonna get deflections. He's gonna take charges, which he did against Jan. And listen, it takes a person who has not one iota of fear to try to get charged against. Like
massive balls.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to PJ Tucker, man. He's exactly the type of
this
dude
is not
that this
just
team
me.
needs. And
Nope.
Oh, am I frozen?
I like to nod my head when that's going on, so y'all think that I can actually hear him.
Brian, bro, I felt your passion coming through the screen, bro.
Yeah.
Wait.
You were saying,
am I gone? Am I still?
No,
you're here.
You're back.
Okay, yeah, no. Listen,
Here.
my point is,
You're working on it, bro.
Go ahead. I want to kind of let him get it off, bro. I just kind of want to.
Oh my God, he froze. He actually froze.
No,
did I actually freeze?
No.
Okay, no. Listen, I'm just gonna say this.
Fast.
PJ Tucker is like Pat Riley as a good basketball player. Wait, did I get it?
Yes.
All right, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, PJ Tucker, Pat Riley on the basketball court. Cool.
Mic drop right there.
It's like the what is it? Glory Road when he played for Kentucky. That's it.
So, can I tell a quick story real quick?
Please.
So I went to Miami for the AEW show where Daniel Bryan wrestles.
Great story,
Bryan Danielson. We were doing, instead of the S, we were doing C. And so shout out to Miami for the C chant down there.
I think Ethan pointed this out.
That's Alberto Del Rio.
They brought back a chant with Giannis at the free throw line, and they were only getting to like 6 today. He was getting it off pretty early, but fuck Giannis. We're not talking about him. We're talking about he's a. Didn't I say fuck Giannis?
Yeah, all right, respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go on to the next player. I know we did too. We did Sean and Brian on PJ Tucker. So I want to talk about another new guy. I want to talk about Kyle Lowry, and I want Ricky to go first on Kyle Lowry because I think you guys mentioned it early on. Like just the level of maturity that he brings to this offense is something that we have not had in years. Without the scoring, like he was still so good. He shot 1 of 8, and he was so good in this game. Thank you, El Chicho, for the $5 dono. Said defense, offense, vets, and some youngins. We stacked and deepest in the East this year. Finals will be Heat versus Lakers. Heat in 6. Did you see the Lakers yesterday?
Lakers.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry Acosta, for the $4.99 dono. He said that first quarter. Damn, if that was the whole game, that whole game screamed. Game screamed Heat culture. Every Heat player had that I'm stealing your money, FK, what you heard, look, fire flame emoji. Bro. DM me after this show, bro. We're going to go. I don't know, bro. It's
I got it.
It's $4.
That whole game scream Heat culture.
Every Heat player had that I'm stealing your money, fuck what you heard look.
You got it. I ain't even gonna argue with you. Kyle Lowry, Ricky J. Mark, let's have it.
Yes, sir. Well, so here's what's interesting. It's funny that one of you guys brought up the Lakers just now, because if I could take y'all back to the 2006-2007 season, the Lakers pretty much had almost the same team. And then in that offseason, they were able to re-sign Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher, statistically, will not wow you, but there's a certain element to his game, toughness, leadership, poise, respect from his peers that completely changes not just the locker room, but the confidence of the players on the floor. Kyle Lowry didn't blow anybody away with his stat. What was it, 5-2-1 or something like that tonight? He didn't blow anybody away with his stats tonight. 5-6-1. Okay. Well, I mean, the 6 is pretty good, but still, he's not in Toronto anymore. So, well, that was an homage. there's something to be said. You see, he gets it. There's something to be said about what he brings to the table. We know he's a dog because we know Jimmy's a dog and they get along great. It helps when your floor general is also a dog. From the very first preseason game, you saw this guy was not going to back down from anyone or anything, even a call. He got a couple texts in the preseason. That's not going to hurt Miami this season. I assure you of that. But there's something to be said about the fact that this team is built not just around Jimmy or the fact that Bam can absolutely go insane at any moment in time, but Kyle Lowry, what he brings to the game. You have a guy who's made a career out of taking charges, plays solid defense despite his age. I want to see how that. I hope that doesn't become a factor later on, but he plays solid defense, draws charges, and he's a dog. There's something to be said about that. He doesn't need to average 45 points a game for this team to be successful. Look at who we have, and not to take away from anybody else's player choice, but Kyle Lowry, what he brings to this game makes it easier for everybody else to do their job. Jimmy Butler doesn't have to be a triple-double threat every night as long as Kyle Lowry is out there. Tyler Hero doesn't have to be a point guard with Kyle Lowry on the floor. Bam Adebayo doesn't have to do a stupid dribble handoff every 5 plays. He can go out and get points. And we saw that with Kyle Lowry out there. Bam, despite complaining in jest about losing some of his assists, is now like, man, I can go after it now because I don't have to worry about getting everybody else involved. I can actually be the focal point of an offensive set as opposed to having to be the one that makes the defensive stop, brings the ball up the court, and gets the offense going. I can go be me. It's easier for a workplace generally is much better off when everybody can properly play their roles. And Kyle Lowry does that. He makes it a lot easier on everybody.
No, for sure. So, HM, we hope you're having a good night. Gad's not here to read your comment, so I'm going to pass it off to the other host of the Full Court Press. Ariel, please read HM's comment for me, please.
HM, how you doing? Hope all is well. Thank you for the $5 dono. He says, don't want to get too high after just one game, but I see the blueprint for this to be a very filthy team, a team full of dogs to get after it. Salute. Absolutely, 100%. The makeup lends itself to them being just nasty. A team that no one wants to play. So you're spot on there.
Yeah, no, I'm only at about 80% because I'm 100% are going to get too high off of this one game because it was an awesome game. Jiri Acosta, again, with the $1.99 dono, man, you on the road tonight. Keep giving me money. You'll hear your name all night long. He said, this one is easier. Go Heat. Oh, I like that.
Thank
I like
you.
that. Make it easy for me, baby. Just give me money and put something nice and simple in there. Yeah, I think Ricky gave us every point that could possibly be made on Kyle Lowry, so I'm not going to give that player to anybody else. I want to talk about our guy, the only guy to play over 24 minutes tonight, and that's Jimmy Butler. Ramakan, talk about what you saw from Jimmy Butler tonight, man.
Jimmy was just able to pick his spots tonight. I think like what Ricky was saying, with Kyle Lowry leading the spearhead of the playmaking, Jimmy was just able to do what he wanted and get to the spots he wanted to. That 19-0 run in the first quarter started off with Jimmy getting 2 straight buckets, and it just all just went downhill uphill, I guess, for us from there. And he was able to, once Kyle Lowry went down in the second quarter, just turn it up again, getting into the paint over and over again. There's really no way to stop him now. With the way the spacing is built, we've always talked about who that next forward next to Bam is going to be. Having that guy in PJ Tucker also helps Jimmy out because they now have to help out, and Jimmy's able to get into the lane a lot easier, and we saw that tonight. He's able to just dominate in the paint. The pump fake is absolutely lethal. He's looking like D-Wade Light with that pump fake, and he's going to keep getting to the free throw lines, but also with having Kyle Lowry, he's going to be able to save his body and pick his spots. How much points did he score tonight?
21,
I think.
21, and it looked easy. It looked like he only wanted to score when he only scored when he wanted to, and when he didn't want to, and he was just doing everything else. And defensively, he just looked like a monster tonight. So, I mean, Jimmy's going to be able to keep himself rested as long as Lowry stays healthy, and it's going to be fun to watch him. I wish he dunked that ball in the first quarter.
Off of the spin?
I haven't seen him do that ever. Like, that's how you knew he's feeling good. That he went for, if he doesn't get fouled, he finishes that. So, like, he's feeling good.
That boy look like an athlete right now, man. But I think the shoot makes a very good point. One of my favorite parts about the game was getting to see the starters kind of catch that rest. Like I said, like nobody played 30 minutes tonight. Jimmy played the most minutes with 29. And that, to me, is probably one of the better ways for this team to keep itself fresh and rested for the postseason is by jumping on teams early enough to the point where you can have a few games like this where you build up a big enough lead where you could throw in the other players in there towards the end of the game and let them get something. I want to go not negative, but something that was a bit concerning with you, Ariel, and that was the play of Duncan Robinson. He got looks, clean ones, same looks that we normally get, and he missed a lot of them. Was that a cause for concern or just an aberration?
What is it that you would be concerned with
about him?
Mm-hmm. You said it was something that's somewhat concerning. What's concerning about it?
What's concerning is that he's getting the ball probably in the same spots, but in a different way. When the fact that we have Kyle Lowry here, and it's somewhat uncomfortable that he wasn't able to run the dribble handoff as much with Bam, which is where he got a lot of those threes. And so to me, I guess the question is, how long will it take before he adjusts to these new same shots that he's getting?
So last season, you're absolutely on the money in that the way that he's being used, or it looks like the way that he's going to be used in this Heat offense, is different from last season. Whereas last season, welcome, Alex Toledo.
Yeah, the Alex Toledo.
Sir.
His name is Alexander. You got to call him. He got on a collar tonight and shit. The Alexander Toledo.
I'm a reporter tonight.
That's right. Go ahead.
Just to finish off there, just like the way that he's being used last season is different from the way that he's used this season. Whereas last season, he was like a core part of the offense where the Heat's primary action, like 80% of the time, is the dribble handoff. They are constantly looking for the dribble handoff. So he's able to get into a rhythm and he knows exactly what sets are going to be run for him and he's going to run them over and over and over again. And it's easier to, make your shots when you're getting them the same way over and over and over again. Now it's going to be a little bit different with the way that the Heat's offense is run. He's more of a release valve as opposed to like a core part of the offense. Like he's being found at the end of possessions after, whatever doesn't work out, or, most of these plays are not drawn up for him. Not to say that plays won't be drawn up for him, but again, I expect the usage rate would be a little bit lower for him. So, look, I don't have the numbers in front of me in terms of how he shot on catch and shoot last season. I expect that it was pretty good because he's a supremely elite shooter and that most of his looks are going to come in that way this season. So I'm not worried about it. I mean, he was getting mostly good looks. He forced a couple of shots, but generally speaking, the looks were good. They're going to continue to be clean because of the way that this offense is set up now and the way that they're able to spread the floor. And he's going to knock him down because he's one of the best shooters on the planet.
Our main man, Gadiel Cartagena, said Alexander looks like he's in the back of a high school chemistry class right now. And that's true. Alex, as somebody who was in the arena looking at it live in person, tell us your thoughts on the game, what you saw tonight, what you liked, and some of the things that there's nothing that you didn't like. What did you like about tonight's game? I can't hear a word you're saying. Is your microphone on? No.
Right it down.
Fix it and come back. We need that in-person perspective. No.
Yo, while he's waiting, to Ariel's point, and obviously the game script kind of changed, but we only shot, let me pull up the numbers. We only shot about a third of our shots from behind the arc, which is a really low percentage for us. We shot about 58%, almost 60% of our attempts came within 14 feet. If you look back at the last few years, those numbers are nowhere close to that. We shoot around 40% of our shots from three-point.
Right.
So a little difference, but nothing close to, especially away from the rim. We're like 17%, and today we were like 30. Obviously, it's a small sample size, one game. We get that. But, you can tell the offense is different because of the personnel. And a lot of that, I think, goes to Kyle Lowry's credit.
Oh, Gadiel Cartagena, wild thing. You make my heart sing commenting at me like that. Alexander, trying to take your mic off mute to see if we can hear you now. No, bro. Are you still muted on StreamYard? No, it's just not it. It's not your night, bro.
He looks so defeated.
You're the Duncan Robinson of the postgame show, bro. We know you're gonna get your shit together, bro. But right now, it just ain't working for you, bro. We appreciate you for jumping on here, bro. Oh, I can hear you.
Oh,
finally. Okay, so
yeah.
You hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, man, that game, it looked like they turned on the PlayStation and put 2K in the game and put it on rookie mode. Like, it was legit. It was so one-sided from start to finish. Like, it was really insane. I mean, look, man, I know the Bucks are really depleted, obviously missing Drew, Brooke, Bobby Portis, Dante DiVincenzo. That's a lot of guys, right? Like Jimmy wouldn't have been parading as a scorer every single time down the floor. Drew was in the game. I understand that. This is still like incredibly impressive for him to be up by that much, pretty much the whole game, to never let up. Because I feel like that's something that the past couple seasons of Heat teams would do at times. That there was never really a point where the Bucks are really coming back. It was a dominant win from start to finish. I just want to see more of this going forward. I know it's an easy thing to say. I just want to see Bam take it personally like this in every game, right? This Bam is different. This is everything people have been wanting to see, and he's still putting it together. Like, there was a couple times there where I didn't love some of the shots he took, but for the most part, I loved everything he showed out there. Him and Tyler taking these steps, like, that really improves the team ceiling, and I feel like we saw everything you wanted to see tonight. You just completely, slapped them in the mouth, and it was a definition of a statement game.
Nice plug in the comments, Sean Rochester. Way to do it, bro. I haven't heard Ricky J. Mark talk in a long time, so I want to hear him talk some. We saw Tyler kind of step up and take a lot of that backup ball handling duty. I think somebody alluded to it earlier. I can't quite remember who it was. It really is 7 people in here. But we saw Tyler Hero kind of take some of those minutes that we were expecting Gabe to kind of get, and he looked decent in the role, but there was always kind of like a safety valve, either Jimmy or Bam or Kyle on the floor with him to kind of share those ball handling duties. Did you like what you saw from Tyler as a facilitator tonight?
I did. Excuse me. I did, actually. I think given what, we know that in the NBA, teams scout players before games. They don't just go into a game blind thinking that, we don't know. We'll just see what he does and we'll adjust to it in the first quarter. I mean, given what Tyler's been showing the NBA and social media and everything throughout the preseason, they figured he was going to be kind of like a white Lou Williams coming off the bench, just gunslinging and doing his thing. Thing is, when that happens, it allows Tyler Hero to become the facilitator that you were talking about. It allows him to become more of a decoy, because then it's like, man, we're going to have to clue in on him. If we frustrate him early, we'll take him out of the game, no problem. Well, when Tyler is able to become a facilitator, it makes everybody's life difficult on defense, because it's like, well, okay, he's not. We're expending a bunch of energy on him, but he's not actually. We're not getting a return on our defensive investment, and other guys are getting opportunities. As a result of him working his way into the flow of the game, it just sets things up for not only the players around him, but eventually he'll work himself into a lather, and next thing you know, at the right moment, he'll pretty much strike. And that is the kind of Tyler I imagine will be getting out of this season. I don't think he's just going to come in and start chucking. I think it'll be something that will allow him, and it'll reflect his increased maturity in the game, where he'll work his way into the game, he'll feel his way, he'll let the game come to him, so to speak, and then when the time is right, he strikes, and then he goes back to the bench, or he allows other people to do their thing.
Hey, Brian, bro, what kind of freak nasty shit you got going on in my comments, bro?
I have no idea who that is.
Hey, bro, I'm not reading that. Thank you for your money. Brian's going to read that. Go ahead, Brian.
I got to read that?
Yeah, it's talking to you.
That's all you, baby.
That's all you, baby.
Hey, great job, me. I'll see you What? Yeah, I'll see you at some point. You affection. I'm not. That's weird. That's weird, bro. Thank you for your money. I appreciate it.
You have to read it.
I did read it. I read the spirit of it.
No, I don't know what that is.
You started.
I love the Miami Heat, baby. That's what it says. I think they're talking about the team. That's what we're talking about basketball here. That's weird. That's so weird.
Hey, bro, you brought your personal life to the show, bro.
I have no idea who that is.
Sure you don't.
You'll know who it is later tonight.
I'm telling you, when they see you, bro.
That's scary. Yeah, they're breaking my house.
No, so I kind of want to get into conversation with everybody, and since Brian, you have your girlfriend watching or whatever, I want to. I'm gonna let you go first. What parts of tonight do you believe were sustainable, and what parts do you believe were just kind of like, first night coming in excited, everybody's up? Like, what was real and what was not tonight? And this question's going to be for everybody.
I got two things, right? The Kyle Lowry pushing the pace. I think that's going to be an all-season thing. Of course, they aren't going to score. Talked about they're not going to score 140 points every game, but I do think they're going to be. I don't think it's a bold prediction to say top 10 offense. It's probably close to 15, but Yeah, somewhere around there. Like I think that's very, very achievable. Also think Bam's aggressiveness is going to be sustainable. Like I think that Bam has mentioned it in the season. Like he wants to be an all-star again, and I think that having that pressure or having that pressure relieved of having to be and work out is Duncan getting his shots, is Tyler getting his shots, Jimmy getting his shots, and just being able to focus on being a mismatch. Like I don't see any reason why Bam can't be a 20+ per game scorer every night. I think less sustainable thing. I mean, the obvious is going to be Tyler Hero scoring 27 every night. I still think he's going to be a 6-man. I think he's going to be probably close to around 20, but yeah, we're probably not going to be getting Bradley Beal numbers off the bench every single night. I actually think that kind of a reverse of the sustainable, but in a positive way, is Kyle Lowry. Like I think he's probably going to play statistically a lot better than we saw tonight. Like I think he's probably going to be closer to 16, 6, and 6 rather than 5, 1, and 6. So those are a couple of the things that I see as sustainable, not sustainable. Yeah.
My hairline is not making a comeback. So Ricky, somebody said they want your feedback on Tyler. So I think, didn't you already talk about Tyler?
Yeah, rewind the tape like a minute and a half.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I am gonna keep shaking my head, bro. Like, no, bro, don't start with me. Direct your weird comments to Brian.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm still thrown off by that. That's weird.
Well, pay your debts, and maybe you won't get some weird people in the
having
comments.
to sit here and look at it, Brian.
Imagine how I feel with it directed at me.
Hey, bro, we don't know how you gonna feel. You tell us about it tomorrow after they come see you tonight. Jonathan Ramacon, what tonight was sustainable and what was not?
I think Bam's aggression is sustainable. I think now he's in a position to be put in spots where he can be aggressive and he can pick his spots, right? We saw against Giannis, like Ariel talked about earlier, he was doing a little jab step jumper multiple times tonight. There was multiple times where he took him and he started posting him up. Now, there was a few times where he turned the ball over, but I think that's good for him because that shows that he's being aggressive and he's putting himself in uncomfortable positions, something that he wasn't really doing last year. So I think that's something that we'll really see sustained throughout the season, just moving forward. As far as the unsustainable, something like a 20 plus rebound margin, I think that's something that's going to be tough to maintain over the course of a season. We know for a fact PJ is probably going to miss some games. We're going to probably see Kyle miss some games. So then that point of attack defense might be a little suspect again, too. So Bam might have to adjust there as well. So I think the rebounding margin might be a little closer and average out towards the middle of the season. But I was really encouraged about what I saw tonight with the rebounding.
Yeah, so Anonymous Dude 123 just said, thank you for the recommendation, Dan the Film Gent, the 5 reasons. I was up to you both. Thank you very much. And Dan the Film Gent is one of our favorite commenters because he comes in here, he interacts with us. So we appreciate you for joining us, bro. Stay with us. We'll be here after every game. Sean, tell us tonight what's sustainable, what's not from tonight's game.
Yeah, I think the team defense. I think we knew going in that they were going to be good defensively, but athleticism across the board. You didn't see all the switching that we saw last year. They can all rebound the ball fairly well. Even the guards are contributing to that. I think what's not sustainable, and it's kind of a weird way of answering the question, Duncan's not going to shoot 25% from behind the arc anymore. He's 2 for 8. That's not happening anymore. He's going to shoot the ball better. He got good looks. He just didn't drop.
Okay. Ariel, did I ask you yet, bro? There's so many people on this show.
No.
Well, I'm asking you now.
Yeah, scrape the bottom of the barrel for this one. I'm going to go.
Imagine being Ricky J. Mark, who gets to close out this conversation. Go ahead.
So as far as sustainability, I guess I would say the ball movement, the fact that the quality of looks, rather, is where I'm going to go. The quality of looks that the team, these guys are going to get and they're going to be able to generate because of having added a guy like Kyle Lowry, because of what seems like Tyler Hero having taken another step in his development offensively and as well as developing his body. They're going to be able to spread the floor in a way that, they weren't a very good offensive team last season. They were somewhere around middle to like the 20s in terms of offensive efficiency, if I remember correctly, and somewhere in the bottom 10 in terms of points per game. So I think they'll get really good looks all season. They have the personnel to make the shots as long as Markieff isn't the one taking the shot. And so I think they'll be a really good offensive team. They'll get a good, good quality looks. Not sustainable. You guys have Duncan's going to shoot better. I think Kyle Lowry, in terms of like pure raw stats production, he'll be better. I don't think Tyler Hero's going to average 27 a game, but I don't think he'll average like 15 a game either. So, yeah, you can pick any of those.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, go subscribe to Dan the Film Jets YouTube channel, bro. He throwing us subs. I want to throw him a couple too. Y'all go sub to this man channel. He's uploading videos about the Heat too. So if you want to hear more Heat talk, subscribe to his channel. Thank you, the unidentified celebrity review, for the $10 dono. He said Taco Bell money for Ricky and Brian. We're gonna all split your money evenly. I don't even want you to think that money's going where you want it to go. I'm getting my piece of that change. You hear me?
Let's go. 30 cents, baby.
I'm telling you. After Ethan take whatever he gonna take off the top. Ricky J. Mark, go ahead and close us out on this conversation, brother. What things are sustainable? What things are not sustainable with this?
I think one of the most important things is Miami's defense. That's what this team has always been built around, the defense. Shooting will come and go. Duncan will have good stretches. He'll have bad stretches. He'll have great stretches. He'll have personal issue stretches. These things happen. It's a part of sports. But the defense is what wins championships, and so does rebounding. Effort is something you can bring all season. Defense is something you can bring all season. Shots aren't always going to fall, but defense should overcome it all. Is that a bar?
Bars.
That is a bar.
Yeah, that was cool.
That
That was kind of dope.
Proverb, bro.
Wow.
Hey, I am hyped.
Count it. But yeah, ultimately, look, this team, most NBA fans aren't going to look at this team and think, oh man, NBA Finals, Heat in 6. But we know better than they do. And the way this works is that, look, this team's defense will get it through the rough stretches this season. That's my hope. That's my expectation. And as a result of that, come playoff time, assuming everything goes the way it should, not to mention Depot coming back, I think this team will be in a very, very good position to shock some people.
Win the championship.
Sure. Thank you, Christian Cardews, for the $1.99 dono. He said, Steph Leap, Ariel. Say it with your chest. For sure.
Hey, we've been saying it since last year. Y'all just haven't listened.
Stop it. Look,
Open
I saw
your
this
mouth.
on Clutch Corner. Leif has been saying this since Tyler was a rookie. Let's give some credit to Leif here.
Oh, Leif had it first.
Absolutely not.
100%.
Okay.
No, tell Leif
Yes.
to get off of my bandwagon, bro. I've been on this Tyler Hero train since the minute they announced the pick, bro. Don't y'all dare try to take this from me.
We
Thank
didn't
you,
slander
Carter.
him one time, not one time.
See how
I
I
you lying on
compared
my
Tyler
man's
Hero to
name?
Lou Williams in his rookie season, and people got mad at me. So
Yeah,
I said sixth man of the year.
rightfully
Because
so.
that's disrespectful to the next Larry Bird, Brian.
I said he was going to
Putting
be a
Tyler Hero
6th man
in
of the year
blackface.
candidate, and people were.
MVP
I was
you
like,
said
you know how
MVP
good of a
wrong.
career that would be.
You
Whatever.
said MVP wrong.
Steph Curry with more size.
Thank you, Question Everything, for the $2 dono. He said McChicken money for Brian, Ariel, Ricky J. Mark, Sean Rochester,
Yes, sir.
goddamn Jonathan Roblicon,
all split
and,
a McChicken.
and me. For sure, everybody get a piece. Sean wanted us to bring this up, so Sean, I want you to kind of read the comment and kind of give your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw this pop up from 5 Reasons. Jimmy in the post game talking about Kyle, and he says, in quote, "I hope that motherfucker knows my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and she needs a really expensive gift. $100,000, Kyle. I ain't fucking around. If this team's not having fun, I don't know what fun is, man. This is awesome."
That
I like that he said it to the media, and that's
right. I like that, bro. I really like that. So I do want to talk a little bit about the Bucks, and the first person I want to talk about is the person that puts the ass in Thanasis. So let's talk about this whore, bro. I wanted to drive to the arena, bro, and put hands on this boy. Was anybody else as pissed as I was at Thanasis?
Yeah, don't touch
Yes,
my
bro.
point guard.
He's swiping at everybody
Scrum.
after everything. He was just flopping all over the place and acting like he wasn't doing anything. It was the worst thing ever.
I mean, he wouldn't be in the NBA if his last name wasn't Antetokounmpo.
He'd be a
I was
perfect fit
I
for
was
them.
a little bit
Technically, it's
disappointed. A little bit disappointed that PJ Tucker didn't take care of him after that swipe at Kyle Lowry.
That's what I
Big
thought
man, I
UD
don't
was
know.
going to check in for. I wanted
Yeah, I
UD
thought
to
something
get
was
in
going to
there.
happen.
We need a Dexter Pittman.
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure.
Can I just
One
say one
thing that he
thing?
was good at. What's up?
Thanasis will be a perfect fit next to Bam.
Oh, stop it.
Get him out of here, Ramadan.
Stop it.
You've had enough. You
There's-
sleepy.
Threw
Go
up
to
in my
bed.
mouth.
No, I actually don't want to take credit for that. Somebody said it to me. I think his name is Mr. Wells on Twitter. He said it to me on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I have to use that. Oh, my God. Big money, Barack. Give me some money. I ain't reading that shit.
Give me some money.
That.
I'm talking to Adam Barack, bro. Like, come on. Let's be real. I don't know what I want to talk about now, so let's give it to Jonathan Ramlakar. He's a pretty good host. Jonathan, bro, what you think we should talk about now?
Let's talk about Dan the Film. Let's talk about Omer for a little bit.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Why?
That fadeaway.
All right, for real. Let's talk about the points in the paint.
Okay.
Because it was 52-34, and I feel like with the way this team is going and the way the spacing is, it's perfectly set up for Jimmy and Bam to just work in the paint. And we saw what Hero was able to do to get in the paint. Do you guys think the points in the paint is going to be something that's sustainable? Because obviously, Brook Lopez is a big part of that Bucks defense, or do you think that's something that's going to be able to last throughout the season?
Yes.
Let's start with Sean, baby.
Never mind. Ignore me.
Yeah, I mean it's
Oh, don't worry, Kang. You know it's
Damn.
Oh, you know, don't worry. I'm gonna let them have it. Y'all know I'm gonna get mine. Go ahead, Sean.
It's going to be difficult. I mean, I don't think you're going to play that well every night, but getting the spacing that we had, you see, there were times where you could see the Bucks were kind of stunning at the post and not going down and doubling. They were afraid to go back and get away from the shooters, and so if we can play that way, and it's hard to get down there, like when you're playing with that pace, your defense isn't set a lot of times. So they were getting shots inside the paint, not so much off of post-ups, but it was off of run-outs, getting into the lane and transition. So, I think if that's sustainable, if you believe in the pace, then you probably believe in the points in the paint too.
Awesome. Royal, do you want to add anything to that? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, yeah. Please cut me off because I have no idea what the question even was. I was trying to think of a comeback for you, bro, and I haven't got one yet.
I would just say, the Bucks were missing Brook Lopez.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's something that we need to do. Like, if we're gonna, look at this game realistically and keep it in context, the Bucks were missing a lot of what will be their regular rotation tonight. Mm-hmm. So we can take this game and we can celebrate it because it was a good outing for Miami. You don't want to take anything away from them because they had to go out there and win the game. But there were a lot of things that you're going to see differently when Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, and Bobby Portis is in there coming off the bench. So I think we need to keep that in mind. Enjoy the win for sure. Bucks announcer Yurt's fadeaway was Dirk-like. No, Dirk modeled his game after Lil Uzi Yurt. But I think we want to keep that in perspective, though. Like we want to enjoy what we did tonight, take some of the good things away from it. But remember that we're playing a light Bucks team without two of their better, probably top 4 players. So we got to keep that in perspective. And yeah, but fuck the Bucks. I don't care. Like, I won. Hey, bro, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I have to be. 100K gets you a big face cart. No joke. What's up with this big face coffee shit? Like,
It's real.
I know it's real, but I'm just saying they talking about the prices.
Jimmy's getting in that gentrification game.
You Jimmy needs to take an economics class. Doesn't really understand pricing.
Is it bigfacebrand.com? Let's shout out Jimmy shit, bro.
I mean, it works for Big Baller.
Hey, man, I'm with it.
Worked out. Shout
Yeah,
out to
this
LeBron.
website is nice.
I don't know if they're profitable.
All right, Ariel. We talked a lot about coming into the season that the front court depth was going to be something that's key. We saw Dwayne Dedmon. He showed out tonight. Is that something that's going to be? He even hit a 3, man. What was it? 13 points, 11 rebounds,
13 and 9.
Double-double?
13 and 9, yeah.
13 and 9 off
15
the bench.
minutes.
5 of 6 from the field. What did you like from what you saw from Dwayne Dedmon tonight?
Same old stuff. I mean, it's exactly what we saw from him last season. Maybe a little bit more violent, but we like that around here.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like what you're getting with Dwayne Dedmon, and I think it was actually him who like talked about over the offseason that another like a full offseason within the Heat's training program and being around the team a little bit more as opposed to being added in the middle of the season to a team that had already been, I don't remember how many games into the season. Hey, boss man. I don't know how many games into the season.
No, he in the screen now, so he gonna talk, bro. Go ahead, put him on the microphone. Say stuff, Ethan.
What am I supposed to say? I don't have anything interesting to say.
Talk to us about Dwayne Dedmon.
I'm going to say what Jimmy just said to Kyle. So my daughter's birthday is July 17th, Royal. So she needs a really expensive gift. $100,000. I ain't fucking around. Thank you.
He said that.
All right, sell me some shares. We'll talk about it.
Oh, I froze.
Breaking.
I froze, bro. What happened?
Oh, he told us about how Jimmy, basically threatened Kyle. That told him that he had to buy
No,
really
he was
expensive
saying that
gifts.
you need to
John
get
already
him
covered
a gift
that.
for his daughter's birthday.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about what Ethan was talking about. Nobody cares about that shit. I'm talking about what everybody was saying while Ethan was on camera. Thank you, Store Brand Juice for the $4.99. Don't know. He said, "What ESPN tomorrow? Make this about the Lakers." Oh, watch ESPN. Yeah, I got it. But yeah, no, I don't think that's what's gonna happen, bro. I think this is gonna be more so about them saying that the Bucks were without X and X. And
They're
X
not even
player.
going to talk about it. It wasn't nationally televised. They're going to talk about like Luka and the Hawks, and they're not. This game's not going to get a lot of shine.
No,
Bang gonna show up and shoot around.
Miami.
Yeah,
He's going to talk about the Heat, or excuse me, South Beach, even though they're like 20 miles from that place.
Yeah, but not really the Heat.
Right. He's not going to know anything about what happened in the game. Like, I'm just not into that. I want to talk about the kids because y'all did kind of bring up Omari at 7, but we did get a chance to see Caleb Martin a little bit, not much. But mainly Gabe Vincent is who I want to focus on because, like I was talking about earlier, they gave Tyler those backup point guard minutes. Is it because of the way that Gabe played in the preseason that he wasn't able to kind of get a crack at the backup point guard job for most of this game? Sean, I'll start with you.
Man, you know what? I think it's because there's so many guys that can play that position, out of position, but like handle that duty that it's hard. He gets squeezed out. I think there's going to be times where he's needed. Obviously, there's going to be times when these guys are going to rest, but I just don't think he doesn't have a role just because we're going to go 8-9 deep unless a game like this happens or the opposite side of it. And he's just not at that point yet. And I hate to say that because we had him the other day on the show. He was great. He was very professional. He talked well. He's very excited about the season, but it's probably not going to work out unless there's an injury.
No, Storbrand, I agree with your comment. He said, no, Tyler was just balling. Yeah, for sure. But it wasn't the fact that Tyler was balling. I think it was the way Tyler was used. Like he came in for Kyle. So when he came in, then he took up a lot of the ball handling duty. And I mean, I guess we knew Gabe wouldn't be handling the ball, but I thought we'd see him a little bit more with that second unit. Brian, am I crazy? Like, did you think you would see more Gabe, or did you get about what you thought you would get?
I think that coming into the season, I maybe would have expected Gabe to have a bit of a bigger role, but yeah, I think it just comes down to Spo just wanting Tyler Hero to have the ball in his hands, which is totally understandable. Like Tyler Hero is very clearly a better player than Gabe Vincent in just about every aspect of basketball. So I get why Spo maybe decided that, hey, let's just have Tyler soak up those minutes as a backup point guard and, have Gabe as a 13th man, which is cool. Like I honestly don't have a problem with Tyler Hero getting extra reps on the ball and, taking every opportunity he can to score rather than trying to force Gabe as a backup point guard.
Yeah. Let's pivot a little bit, Ricky. Let's pivot to Max Strus, who did get a sizable chunk of minutes. How did he look to you tonight?
I think he looked solid. I mean, you saw a couple of the things that, for those of us that have been watching him since he first joined this team, it's like, okay, all right, if he continues to develop, this is what he can give you. The occasional spark plug, the occasional sharp shooter off the bench, someone who is a little bit more thick than the average shooter. And as a result, that bulkiness gives you the opportunity for potentially more rebounds. He's sneaky athletic. And, in situations like this, if, let's say, for example, if Duncan or Tyler, they're
just
having
say he
a rough
Whiting
go
can
of it.
dunk, King. Just say that. Bro.
No, I don't need to say
Okay.
that. I mean, y'all read my mind. I don't need to say it. So I'm trying to see if I can mention something else. But yeah, basically, I think if Duncan or Tyler are having a rough go at it, Strus can come off the bench and give you a little bit of what you might not be getting from them for that night. I don't think it'll happen that often where all three of those guys will be having a rough shooting night. And to kind of briefly go back to Gabe Vincent for a second, I personally believe that Gabe Vincent is a third string point guard. And if you are relying on him for heavy minutes at the point guard position, your team's probably not that great. And we saw that last season. He gives you third string backup point guard minutes, but I don't expect him to be getting a lot of burn this season.
Yeah, I don't think I was thinking heavy minutes, but I mean, he played 12 minutes tonight.
Spot
they
minutes,
came in,
yeah, that's
Or
fine.
like blowout minutes. Like
Yeah, but they were like
he wasn't in
garbage
he wasn't in the rotation. Yeah.
Right. I think I was expecting more along the lines of the 15-minute, like probably 15 minutes max, but 15-minute range in the actual rotation at the beginning of the season. And then during the preseason, I kind of cut that back. And then it just seems like he's out of it altogether. Ariel, go ahead. Look, you want to jump in here, bro?
I mean, somebody actually asked me. I did I put it out on Twitter. Like, you guys want to ask me any Heat questions before the game? Go ahead. I'm bored. I got nothing to do. And something that somebody asked me was like, what kind of role I see for Gabe, and I said maybe somewhere around 15 minutes per game, but only in non-Jimmy led bench lineups. So I think that Jimmy was out there. He was the stagger guy. We talked about this on Full Court Press. We asked, like, who is the stagger guy out of Kyle, Jimmy, and Bam that kind of carries those bench units, right? Because Spo's almost never going to run out 5 bench guys and sit all 5 of his starters at the same time. One of Kyle, Bam, Jimmy are going to be on the court, if not more than one of them, at all times. I said it would be Jimmy. It just makes sense. He has a skill set. He's the dude. And tonight, I thought that, he was on the court. Like, when the game was still, the Heat were up by 20 plus for, the entire game almost. But in most of those bench minutes, towards the end of the first, early end of the first, and somewhere in the third quarter, like, Jimmy is the guy carrying those bench minutes. And so if he's on the court, there's not really a use for Gabe so much. Spo seems to want to run Dwayne Dedmon with Markieff Morris. Max Strus is going to get minutes over Gabe Vincent, and Tyler Hero is also a core piece along with Jimmy Butler in anchoring those bench lineups, it seems. So there just aren't any minutes for Gabe Vincent, it seems like. So I don't know. Unless there's an injury or whatever, if this is the plan that Spo is going with, where he's going to have Jimmy anchor those bench units, I don't really see much of a role for him at all, to be honest with you.
Thank you, Ellie Erickson, for the 199. Don't know. He said underrated stat is how much fun they're having. That's not a statistic.
Should be.
But it's not, though.
But it should be.
I think I'm leaning with you, Ariel. But I believe if Victor Oladipo comes back, they're going to find the minutes that you talk about that are not available. They're going to find those minutes for Victor Oladipo. And I think in a game like this, you saw that there were opportunities for them to find Gabe minutes. It was a blowout, and they only found them in garbage time. So that, to me, lends itself to maybe he's really not in the rotation, period.
Right.
Like we thought it would be. And that, to me, is a bit peculiar. We spent a lot of time on Gabe, but Ramakana, so I want you to go and talk about Strus too. Strus, in some ways, played better.
Like, why?
Because it's there. Strus, in some ways, played better than Duncan tonight. And we know that's not going to happen very often. But talk about what you saw from Strus tonight, what you liked, and if you saw any areas of improvement for him to be able to maintain the momentum that he's already kind of gathering.
The first thing we have to talk about is the block that led to the Hero 3 at the end.
That was a fucking foul.
It was a foul. It was 100% a foul. He got all arm.
Foul, bro.
He got all arm.
Sneaky athletic.
That's right.
Snuck right in there, man.
Go ahead. Overall, he looked great, right? He looked like he was getting to his spots quicker. His shot looked good. He was able to take it in as well. He was just doing a little bit of everything, and his defense is something that's, like we said, it's better than Hero and Duncan as far as, our Caucasian boys on our team. But I feel like really, like, Strus can be that one guy off the bench that you can rely on the most. Like, out of the young guys, you're talking about not Duncan, you're talking about Vincent, you're talking about, Yurt, KZ, Garrett. Strus is that one young guy that you really probably expect to take that next step this year. And he's probably going to be the one guy that sticks the most. And because of his shooting and his willingness to be a gunslinger, he's going to be the one guy that Spo is just going to be able to plug and play. And if anybody goes down, especially in that backcourt, he's going to be the one that can fill in.
No, for sure. So I think everybody got their words in. Let's see if you got any final thoughts on this game. We're going to give everybody a chance to go on this one too. Final thoughts on this game, anything that we didn't mention that you just kind of wanted to shout out. We'll start with you, Ramakan.
Shit, dude. We scored 130 points tonight. Like, that's pretty insane. And we saw everything that we wanted to see. Hero looked good. Bam looked aggressive. We saw what the addition of Kyle Lowry and that addition of the pace is going to do. Jimmy looked like he's picking his spots. It's going to be a great season, man. Game 1 of the season, I was really looking forward to it, and it did not let down. We didn't even have a third quarter. That was the best part of the night.
For sure. Brian.
I think a lot was made about the fact that the Bucks were missing 5 rotation guys, which is fair. But at the same time, the Heat also held Giannis and Chris to 25 points combined. And so whatever people want to say about, oh, well, the Bucks would have been better if Drew and Brooke and all those guys were playing. But at the same time, like, it's pretty damn good job on the Finals MVP and the second best player on a championship team. So let's give him a little bit more props. And I think some people are willing to give him for tonight's game.
No, for sure. Sean.
Yeah, we talked about Duncan quite a bit. We talked about Tyler quite a bit. What I'm afraid of is Duncan having one poor shooting game and the narrative already starting of should Tyler start? Is Duncan worth the contract? Because we got 48 hours until the next game. We're on this high. We got to do something tomorrow and the next day. Give the guy a chance, man. I just know how sometimes Heat Twitter can be. So let him shoot out of it. He'll be all right.
Oh, Tyler should definitely start. That's an all-star in the making. Ricky J. Mark.
I think
I'm full of shit. I just want to put that out there. Like, that boy should not start. Keep him on the bench. Go ahead, Ricky.
There's two things. One is that we haven't seen the best of Markieff Morris yet. He's going to have a few moments this season in which he's really going to deliver.
Has anyone seen the best of Markieff Morris?
Again, players that may not have been all that great, they come to Miami and all of a sudden, contract, So, look, I think he's going to have I'm not ready to give up on Markieff Morris yet, even though he can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. I think Miami's going to find a way to use him in a way that is probably going to take him within the three-point line, maybe even as a potential small ball 5 in certain lineups. I remember seeing a little bit of that used during the preseason, and he actually did pretty well down there. There will be moments for that, and I think he will bring a lot of value to this team as a result of that. Secondly, we saw a lot of what Miami's capable of tonight. I remember saying this at the start of last season. There are going to be some tough, challenging stretches this season, and as Spo always says, don't let go of the rope, because look, a tough win in Minnesota in December or whenever is still a tough win, or it's still a win. So just appreciate that moment. Understand that this is a team that's going to be undergoing a journey this season that will leave us feeling all very fulfilled and satisfied, because how many teams have gone undefeated and won the championship? I don't even recognize the Patriots because they lost to my Giants. So that's a whole nother story. The only other team that went perfect and won a championship was that other team in Miami that no one talks about, and that was back in 1972. So,
and they'll never do it again.
What, the Dolphins or a Miami team going undefeated? Because I was talking about the Heat.
No, the Dolphins will never go
undefeated
again.
All right. I thought you were doubting and you were about to get canceled.
Come on now, let's stop that, Kang. Y'all know how to feel.
You had me scared for a second. I don't even know anymore.
I'm about to tell y'all exactly how I feel when we start talking about what's going to happen in Indiana. Yeah, go ahead, Ariel.
Two things. One would be that, and of course, super small sample size theater. Say that 5 times fast. Bam Adebayo shot 2 of 5 from the free throw line tonight. It's not like we got that volume, right? It wasn't 10 free throws where he only made 3 or 4 of them. So we're not going to freak out. And it's only one game, but he improved his free throw shooting tremendously last season on increased attempts. And so I want to see that number right up there in the high 70s, low 80s, just like it was last season. And then what was I going to go with that? Yes, I think this team, and I tweeted this earlier, that I think this team can definitely, and you should expect them to be able to reach another level. Now, I'm not saying they're going to play like this every single night, but this team is far from a finished product, right? Duncan Robinson's going to shoot better. Kyle Lowry's going to play better. They're going to get Victor Oladipo back at some point. They're going to be players in the buyout market. They're going to be an attractive destination for a lot of these guys that hit the market, whether that's a John Wall, whether that's a Kevin Love, whether that's an I don't know who. And they have all kinds of avenues to improve the roster going forward. So as these guys acclimate, right, as they get used to each other and as they potentially add new pieces to the roster, I think this team reaches another level, and that there's a potential for us to have underestimated them a little bit in the preseason and in the offseason.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off what you were talking about a little bit, just it's nitpicking. But of Bam's 13 shots, 10 of them came in the first half. And I believe that is something that's not going to be sustainable. But I did kind of monitor it because I wanted him to get 20 up tonight. Like I want him to get up 20 shots, and I want him to get comfortable with putting up 20 shots tonight, and to see him kind of like ramp that down in the second half. But the game was in hand, so
he was up 30.
Huh?
I said you were saying we were up 30.
Yeah. So it wasn't necessary, but I wanted in a closer game. I would like to see Bam get closer to that 20 shot mark and keep up that same aggressiveness in the first half that he had in the second half. So let's talk about the next game really quickly. We got Indiana, or we're going to Indiana. So Jonathan Robinson, the boy feeling good.
The boy feeling real good. I mean, after what we saw tonight, beating the NBA, former defending champs. They're not the champs no more. We're going to be the champs this season. We're the future defending champs, Miami Heat, and we're going to go 82-0. The boy feeling good.
Telling you. Brian Young, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling good. To get an 82-0 season, you got to beat the Pacers. They're going to beat the Pacers. It's going to be a blowout. We're good. We're chilling.
Telling you. Sean Rochester, your first time of the season, and you better get it right. The boy feeling good?
Boys feeling good. Just got to make sure we get to that shooter, man. Chris Duarte. He hit 6 threes, so watch out for that guy. Could be a rookie random scrub eat killer.
What was it? NBA Clunt Dean or some shit like that Stephen A tweeted up? NBA.
That's what I sounded like right there. Exactly.
Yeah. Ricky J. Mark, the boy feeling good?
Ooh, the boy's feeling so fantastic. The night is good.
My God.
The evening's fine. We're going to take that Indiana behind. It's going to be fantastic.
Please stop.
No one is safe.
Please stop.
96 or 98-0. No one is safe.
Please stop.
Undefeated.
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Talk dirty to him, Ricky J. Mark.
Be scared.
I'm going to hear that when I go to bed.
You will.
Brian, the voice coming out of your lungs.
Ariel Latiz, the boy feeling good?
I mean, after that, I guess the boy is definitely still feeling good, but that was rough. No, look, the Heat are better. They should win the game, although, we have yet to see if this team is subject to letdown games as previous Heat teams have been. The Pacers are not a terrible team, but they're not very good either. The Heat should win, so the boy's feeling good.
Yeah. The Heat are not susceptible to letdown games. You know why? Because they're about to blow that shit out tomorrow or
Teach
Saturday.
them, King.
Yeah, of course. We're going 98-0. In order to get to 98-0, you have to pass 2-0, which we shall do on Saturday. Indiana, it may be a solid team, but they are not the class of the NBA like your Miami Heat are. So we want to thank you guys in the comments, as always, for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to our sponsor, Aggressive Insurance. Make sure you check her out at www.insurancebyLynette, or you can give her a call by 954-581-8800. Make sure you give her a call. She can handle any of your insurance needs. Oh my God, Kane Gang! Thank you very much, Gang in the building. I got two Canes with me.
He can't say that.
Oh, you talking about Christian? He can shout out the organization.
Yeah,
but he can't join.
No, Christian has the juice, though. He can say that.
No, he can.
You gonna tell us whether or not he can? Look at this, the audacity.
I know stuff.
These devils,
you know stuff. Oh, you know what, man?
They can support the brand. They just can't be a part of the brand. Kane Gang forever. But yeah, thank you guys in the comments. Thank you to my man Jonathan Ramlakan, Ariel Latiz, Brian Young, Ricky J. Mark, and the band did a wonderful job. Sean Rochester, as well as Alexander Toledo and Ethan J. Scully for joining us tonight. We'll see y'all next time. Play the video, Jonathan.
We still don't know what video it is, so
Why would you have me doing that?
Play the video.